Okay, operations with decimals. Okay, remember when you have any of these operations, remember your integer rules. Okay, you can pause the video, look over these integer rules. The tic-tac-toe that I use only works whenever you are multiplying or dividing. Okay, if you're going to do the tic-tac-toe, remember it is positives all the way across. Fill everything in with negatives. Okay, this part of the tic-tac-toe, imagine it as your equal sign. Okay, so if we look at first, a positive and a negative equal a negative. A negative and a positive will equal a negative, and then two negatives will equal a positive. Okay, let's go to our next slide. Okay, adding decimals. Your main thing to do is to line up the decimal. Be sure to carry over. Why is it not popping up? It is lagging on me right now. Alright, there we go. So here, step 1, line up your decimals. So when you're adding decimals, make sure you line it up. So I'm going to rewrite them. 3.02.65 plus 23.4. Okay, whatever spaces, you fill that in with 0. Then you just add straight down. 5 plus 0 is 5. 6 plus 4 is 10. Carry over my 1. 3 plus 2 is 5. Plus 1 is 6. 0 plus 2 is 2. And then we'll bring down that 3. So you should get 326.05 or 326 and 5/100. Okay, our next one is subtracting decimals. Same thing here. Make sure you line up that decimal and be sure to borrow. Okay, so first things first, you're going to rewrite it, lining up the decimal. So I have 613 and 47/100 minus 32.87. Okay, luckily these both have 2 behind the decimal place, so you just line them straight up and then subtract. 7 minus 7 is 0. Okay, you can't take 4 minus 8, so we got to borrow. We're going to have to put that as 14. 14 minus 8 is 6. Bring down my decimal. 2 minus 2 is 0. We got to borrow again. Okay, so that makes it 11. 11 minus 3 is 8. We're going to bring down that 5. So we get 580 and 60 thousandths, or 580.6. Okay, our next one we have is multiplying decimals. First thing you got to remember is you do not line up your decimals here. Okay, adding and subtracting, we line up our decimals, but in multiplying and dividing, so here we're multiplying, you line up your numbers and your numbers only. Okay, do not fill in any extra places with zeros. All you're doing is line up your numbers. So I have 23.32 times 42.3. If you notice, I lined up my numbers. So we're going to multiply. Okay. If you were to cover it up, do it one at a time. Okay. So we're going to do 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 again is 9. 2 times 3 we get 6. So I'm done with this 3. I'm going to add my placeholder 0. So now I'm going to work with the 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 again is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. So I'm done with the 2's. We're going to add 2 placeholders now. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. Carry my 1. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13, and then 4 times 2 we get 8. Okay, add up all your numbers, so we get 6. 9 plus 4 is 13, carry my 1. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 6 is 16. 16 plus 8 is 24. 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 2 is 14, plus another 2 is 16. 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 3 we get 8, and then we just have our 8, if you notice. Now you're going to decide how many you have behind the decimal. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3 numbers behind the decimal. So you should have 1, 2, 3 behind your decimal in your answer. Okay, so then for our answer, we'll get 886.436 as your answer. Okay, last one, we have dividing decimals. Your first step is make sure you move your decimal and divisor. So you move your outside all the way to the end. So whatever you do on the outside, you do the same on your inside. Okay, so the first number is called your divisor. Or sorry, not your divisor, your dividend. So I'm going to put your first number inside the division symbol. Our 2.2 stays on the outside. Okay, you're going to move your decimal however many times on the outside, you move it the same in the inside. So if I move it once on the outside, I move it once in the inside, and then you go ahead and put that decimal right in your answer. Okay, in your quotient. So now if you're going to be looking at it as 22 divided by 426.8 since we moved the decimal. All right, so 22 cannot go into 4. 22 can go into 42. 20, 44, one time. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 22. 2 minus 2. Okay, 1 times 22 gives me 22, so that's why I'm subtracting 22. 2 minus 2 is 0. 4 minus 2 is 2. Okay, so 22 can't go to 20, so I got to bring down that 6. So let's see, 22 can go into 206. Let's see, 20, 40, 60. 10 times? Wait, we can't do 10. 9, I'm going to assume. See, I can't think. It's too late at night for me. Okay, yep, 9 times. So 9 times 22, we get 198. So we're going to subtract. You can't take 6 from 0, so we got to borrow from the 1. So then we're going to borrow again from the 0, which makes it a 9 and a 16. So we have 8. Okay, so I'm going to bring down that last 8. 22 can go into 8 4 times. So there we get 88. Okay, so then our answer would be 19.4. And I think that is the last one. That is it.